If you tried to wear this fragrance and get in an Uber and go to dinner, you would be kicked off the app. Disrespectful to my city. Straight to jail. Life sentence. It smells like a scam to me. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my brutally honest, unfiltered opinions on the new fragrance launches at Sephora. The savings event is coming soon. I know a lot of us are currently editing our shopping carts, trying to decide what's worth it and what's not. A lot of the new fragrance launches are not. I'm starting to see some of these get really hyped up on social media, so I feel like it is my duty. I have a responsibility to all of you to at least throw out an opposing view. Fragrance is so personal. You might disagree with me on some of these, but I went to the store this morning, I did a final lap, I was sniffing around, and I feel confident and ready to share my opinions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're starting with two of the most popular new launches. This is Kayali Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31 and Ellis Brooklyn Guava Granita Eau de Parfum. I've seen these both everywhere. They were sent to me complimentary last week, so I've had the chance to wear each of these a few times to really get to know them. And I want to begin on a positive note. I think this is one of the best Kayali releases in a long time. As a rose lover, this is so much better than Bougie Marshmallow, Vanilla Rock Candy Sugar, the vacation set that they came out with last year. The key notes are Juicy Pear, Sweet Peach, Rose Royale, Pink Peony, Violet Wood, and Purple Musk. I did spray this on me in the morning before I left the house. That was close to 10 hours ago now. I can barely smell anything, but it's been 10 hours. I don't expect any fragrance to last quite that long. It's still there a little bit, but it's very, very faint. I wanted to make sure I really liked it. And I do. Very juicy, fruity, musky peach right away. As it dries down, the rose really comes forward. On the sweeter side, but not too sweet, and it's a very wearable, lovely rose. I think even people who don't really care for rose might really enjoy this fragrance. Definitely a princess perfume, but there is a warm, soft, almost velvet quality that I think really elevates the fragrance, makes it smell very luxurious. It's so different from the style of fragrance I've been gravitating towards lately, so I'm not sure how much use I'm going to get out of it right now, but I can see myself wearing this. It really surprised me just how much I like this fragrance because I haven't really been drawn to the recent Kayali perfumes, but Fleur Majesty is gorgeous. Guava Granita, on the other hand, is a major disappointment. I was so excited when I unboxed this package. I didn't expect it. I didn't even know this was launching, but I thought, ooh, Guava Granita, that name, this sounds like tropical paradise heaven. I love Miami Nectar from Ellis Brooklyn. So I kind of thought maybe this is going to be another option. Unfortunately, I think it is just so painfully generic. Keynotes include guava juice, banana, vanilla, almond milk, and sandalwood. Even the first time I spritzed this fragrance, I knew it wasn't for me. Initially, you get a shock of banana, but it's a very sweet, artificial banana. It does not smell natural. Even though these notes come straight from nature, they grow right up from the ground. This smells like something that was concocted in a lab. Do you remember those bright fruity candies that we used to eat as kids? I haven't seen them in such a long time, but there was a candy banana. That's sort of what comes to mind whenever I smell this. It's sharp. Banana boat, suntan lotion, coconut. It's very screechy. It's giving Claire's body mist right off the bat, and this is the best it ever smells because as it dries down, it just smells like the most generic, fake coconut perfume ever. It's very reminiscent of so many other things. Probably have several fragrances that smell something like this. It's not unique on my skin, it's barely pleasant. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm completely hating this fragrance. I could totally understand where someone would spritz this and think, wow, that smells really nice. But that's it. If you tried to tell me that this was the best coconut fragrance you've ever smelled, I would call you a liar. I would struggle to believe anybody who says this is their favorite fragrance. Does it smell nice? Is it okay? Yes. Is it incredibly synthetic and screechy and generic smelling? Yes. I'm gonna stick with Miami Nectar. It's not new, it's not the shiny new launch, but it is definitely the better fragrance. Here's a new fragrance launch we have to revisit, the 7 Virtues Clementine Dream. When I unboxed this and smelled it for the first time, and I did it on video, so you can go back and watch that if you'd like, I was a little bit confused. I don't want to say disappointed, but I definitely feel like my expectations were something totally different. So it really wasn't fair. The main notes are citrus and vanilla, so I was imagining a dreamsicle, but it also has amber, which is very dominant. It threw me. I didn't know what to think. I'm not a huge fan of amber all the time. It's one of those love-hate notes for me. The same with sandalwood. When I love it, it's the best thing ever, but occasionally an amber note can be very harsh in my nose. It's just too much. But now that the shock has worn off, I find myself really liking this fragrance. I gravitate towards it. The citrus is so strong. It's almost as if that amber note just amplifies the citrus so much so that you get a nostril full of very realistic clementine or orange mandarin. I must have gotten used to it, and I did revisit this fragrance a few times before I started actively wearing it out, but now I find it so pleasant. I think it's really interesting, and I think I like it more now because it is so different, and I know there's nothing else in my collection, at least, that smells anything similar to this. Now when I smell it, I just want to keep smelling it and keep smelling it and keep smelling it. And I've really enjoyed wearing it, and it's not too heavy. I think that is part of what scared me away from this fragrance. I thought, ooh, that amber is so strong and intense. There's no way I'm gonna wanna wear this in the hot Miami weather. But it's actually so nice on the skin. Justice for Clementine Dream. I was wrong about this fragrance. I actually think it is one of the most interesting, unique, gorgeous fragrance launches of 2025 so far. Now here's another unexpected fragrance launch. Unexpected because nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted it. I'm sure nobody expected Valentino to come out with another flanker of Born in Roma Donna. But here she is, extra dose eau de parfum. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I swear the next fragrance employee who works for YSL, Valentino, Marc Jacobs, or Viktor&Rolf who suggests another flanker, straight to jail. Life sentence. I really need some answers, and I don't want to sound like a flanker hater because I'm the first one to tell you some flankers are even better than the original. They're amazing. I loved Green Stravaganza that launched last year. There's a YSL Opium Le Parfum. I love that so much better than the original. Sometimes you get it right. Even extra dose or super dose, I don't even remember. It smells really nice. And I love the pink bottle. The iconic rock studs, the bright fuchsia pink, it's really lovely. But I can't get excited about this. Is it all that different? Isn't it basically the same fragrance, just a different version of it? It's a warm ambery floral. Keynotes include cassis accord, rum accord, and vanilla. And it's honestly not a bad perfume. I will probably wear this fragrance, although I want to say it's maybe the intense version. Whichever one has a hint of coconut, that's my favorite. I don't know if I like this so much more than the one I already have. Am I crazy? Is there anybody watching right now that is so excited to run out and try this fragrance? Are you a collect them all type of fragrance connoisseur? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's a beautiful bottle. It's a beautiful franchise. You gotta do something different. I took notes on the rest of these, so I'm going to pop them up on the screen. We have another flanker. This one is from Glossier. It's Glossier You Fleur Eau de Parfum. Now this one I like, and I'm not so bothered by the fact that it's a flanker because it's Glossier. They're not really a fragrance brand. I don't really have high expectations of their fragrances. This one I think is the best out of all of them. I actually think Fleur is better than the original. It's still very soft, musky, like warm hug. It's a casual, everyday fragrance. So is it a showstopper, gonna blow your mind when you smell it? Probably not. But of all of the new iterations of this, it's the best one. And I love the lavender bottle. It looks so pretty, very springtime. The keynotes include ylang ylang, apricot skin, and ambrox. I do really like apricot and ambrox. It also has woody cashmere, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. It smells a little bit floral, but it's not like you're getting hit in the face with the bouquet. It's still close enough to the original that I think if you like the original you will probably really like this. It's almost like festival season version of Glossier You. I'm trying to think, maybe the California Girl Wildflower version of Glossier You. It's a little bit more free-spirited. When I smell Glossier You, for some reason, I just think of New York. And when I smell the Fleur, I think of California. Next, we have Juliette Has Miami Shake Eau de Parfum. I think Juliette and I need to have some words because this fragrance is downright disrespectful to my city. I love the bottle, the pink, the blue. It has Miami in the name. Of course, I was going to rush out to smell this fragrance. It's described as a warm, sweet gourmand with keynotes of wild strawberry, ice cream cone, and vanilla absolute. I swear the main keynote in this fragrance is migraine. It is like instant headache as soon as you spritz it on the blotter. I even tried wearing this on my skin because I thought, oh, I hate this on the blotter. Let me wear it on my skin, of course, maybe that will fix the problem. No, this fragrance smells so synthetic and screechy, and it's just headache inducing almost immediately. There is something in this fragrance that does not agree with me whatsoever. And I'm so disappointed because it could have been amazing. It should have been amazing. If your idea of Miami is going to a nightclub, standing by the speaker all night long with the thumping and pumping directly in your ear, and someone spills a strawberry daiquiri all over you, if that's the feeling that comes to mind when you think of Miami, then she nailed it. Otherwise, this is a total scrubber. I literally tried to scrub this off my skin. It's such a shame too because there aren't that many fragrances I genuinely love from Juliette Has but one of my favorites, I think the best from the brand, is Lust for Sun, which is a great tropical summery fragrance. And what I love so much about Lust for Sun is that it's tropical, but it's a white floral fragrance. So it's not just like coconut, sickeningly sweet vanilla. Doesn't smell generic. It smells very unique and floral and beautiful and feminine and like you're a Hawaiian princess. One of the best fragrances for summer. This is so terrible. I don't think it lives in the same neighborhood. I struggle to imagine that those two fragrances are even from the same brand. They're just not even on the same level, not in the same galaxy, in my opinion. Now, if you are in the market for a fun-loving summery fragrance, I would recommend trying the new LoveShackFancy Love on the Beach Eau de Parfum instead. This I really, really liked. It's currently sitting on my wish list. I'm just not 100% sure. I couldn't commit to purchasing. I want to wait for the savings event. I don't know if it's full bottle worthy or if I should just go with the travel spray, but I do really like this. I loved the initial 3 fragrances they launched. Didn't care for Endless Dreams as much. This one I think is beautiful. I think they did an incredible job from what I could smell. It's described as a fresh solar fragrance. Keynotes include frangipani, coconut, salt water, ambrox, skin musks, ylang ylang, gardenia. It's meant to be an elevated beachy fragrance. I love the bottle and I love that it's so soft and coconut. I get a lot of almond milk or maybe coconut milk. It's a very lactonic fragrance, which I don't typically like, but in this I really enjoy. I love frangipani, ylang ylang. I love those tropical floral notes. It's on the more natural side, very feminine, light, airy. I imagine this sits a little bit closer to the skin, so it wouldn't be a special occasion or evening fragrance, but I think it would be a really nice daytime fragrance. It was very peaceful and relaxing and pleasant, and when I smelled it I just thought, yes, I really enjoy this. Those are the type of fragrances that I've really been loving. Anything that makes me feel at ease, something that smells relaxing. It's not a cliche beachy fragrance where they just took sweet vanilla, coconut, and pineapple in a blender. Another soft beachy new launch is Jo Malone Beach Blossom Cologne with coconut water and vanilla. I wanted to love this fragrance. I was so excited to try this. And when I smelled it, I thought, that is really light. Wow, this is so light. It almost smells like a watered down version of Juliette Has Lust for Sun, which is amazing, and I love that fragrance. They smell similar. This one smells overly diluted. It's as if they took the coconut water note to literally, it actually smells like it's just been watered down. Could have been an amazing fragrance, Wanted to Love It by Jo Malone, but if I'm going for a summery sunshine in a bottle fragrance that's very light, natural, very wearable, I think that's one of the great things about Jo Malone is that their fragrances are always appropriate. They're always very elevated and elegant, chic, classy, timeless. I would go with wood sage and sea salt mixed with frangipani flower. That was my layering combo of choice last summer. And I'll probably go back to that again this year because it smells so beautiful together. A little salty, a little sweet, but it still smells like you're wearing fragrance. We have a new launch from Maison Margiela, Replica. It's called Never Ending Summer Eau de Toilette with Orange and Spritz Accord. I saw a review of this fragrance. I hadn't heard anything about it. Usually I hear when these fragrances are launching, nothing. I heard a review and somebody said it truly smells like bitter orange, like an Aperol Spritz, but the bitter taste that you get in your mouth. I love an Aperol Spritz. That is my cocktail of choice whenever I go out. I love a spritz moment. This fragrance truly smells like biting into orange rind. It is bitter. It's so strange. I know their fragrances are sometimes so literal that it takes you back to a time, a place. They're meant to be nostalgic. It's meant to tell a story. That being said, $165 to smell like you just rubbed an orange peel all over yourself. I'm not sure what they're trying to get away with here, but it smells like a scam to me. This is just not one of their best. It's a fresh citrus and fruits fragrance. Keynotes include Spritz Accord, Orange, Vetiver. It's meant to be uplifting, transport you to memories of an endless Italian summer. I don't typically love citrus fragrances. The vetiver is very heavy. I had sort of a visceral reaction similar to that of Miami Shake, where I just knew instantly this was not for me. So could it dry down differently on the skin? Maybe. I will never know. You will have to tell me. I'll trust your judgment because this is just not the type of fragrance that I would ever want to wear on my skin. There's a new Libre in town. This is the Libre L'eau Nue alcohol-free perfume with green mandarin and bergamot. This smelled really nice. I like this fragrance. I had just smelled Sun-Kissed Goddess from Kayali. That's one that I tried for the first time, I think maybe last year. I really, really liked it, but I was trying to be good, trying to be smart. Didn't purchase it. So I smelled Sun-Kissed Goddess, and then I went and I tried this new Libre, and it was astonishing how similar they smelled on the blotter card. And actually between the two, because I was already mentally prepared to hate on the new Libre, like, oh, another flanker, who needs it? I didn't really like the platine, didn't really like the flowers and flames either, so I was feeling a little bit bitter until I smelled it, especially back to back with Sun-Kissed Goddess, which I was thinking to myself, maybe this is the time, maybe this is the year that I finally purchased this. They're so close. And I actually think between the two, I maybe liked the new Libre a little bit more. I'm very curious to see how it wears on the skin, if it lasts as long, if the quality is as nice, because I'm very happy with my Libre Le Parfum. I don't feel like I need to collect them all, but she was very lovely. Now this flanker deserves jail time in my opinion. This is the new Flowerbomb Extreme Eau de Parfum Intense. It's extreme, it's intense, it's both, it's too much. I really like the original Flowerbomb and I like the Tiger Lily, I like Ruby Orchid. There are a few others from the line that I really enjoy, including the original. What went so wrong with the extreme intense version, I'm not sure. But when I first tried this, it was so medicinal and I feel like I burned my nose hairs off. It really, like it put hair on my chest. The first time I smelled this, it is too strong, a little bit too intense. It was very harsh, and I'm sure if I wore it on my skin, it could dry down and maybe it would be very long lasting and the performance would be amazing and I'd be blown away by it. but I can't enjoy a fragrance and wear it on my skin if I don't at least like it when I first spray it. There are fragrances in my collection that I like at first, but then I love later on. So it's well worth taking the journey. I didn't find this very pleasant the first time I tried it, and I think it's making the rounds. They're sending out their PR because I see a lot of people talking about this fragrance and how great it is, and I just feel like it needs a warning on the box, like beware if you smell this fragrance too close. Like this is one that you go ch-ch-ch, and then you kind of like walk through the cloud of fragrance. You don't spray it directly on you, otherwise you're just not going to be able to be in a small room with anyone. If you tried to wear this fragrance and get in an Uber and go to dinner, you would be kicked off the app. It's offensively strong. So unnecessary. I don't understand. We have one final flanker to talk about. This is the new Dolce & Gabbana L'Impératrice Royale Eau de Toilette. I was pleasantly surprised by this. No expectations. I really enjoy L'Impératrice. I feel like that is one of those classic timeless fragrances. It launched back in the 90s, I believe, and I still think it smells fresh, modern. It's one of my favorite fragrances to wear for spring, summer. It has sandalwood, watermelon, kiwi. It's just a beautiful, bright, easy to throw on and get out the door, fruity floral. The new version is also a fruity floral. It has cranberry, pink azalea, and cedarwood. They changed the fruit, changed the floral note, and changed the wood, and yet it definitely still smells like some sort of version of L'Impératrice. They're definitely different, but they're close enough that you could see how they would be related. If my collection wasn't so huge, this might be one that I consider buying. I really need to do a fragrance declutter and get rid of the ones that I just don't really care for. It's on my list. It's one that I will revisit, but for anyone else, I would highly recommend trying this fragrance. I think it is so pretty, very feminine, light, fresh. I think this would be really fun to wear. And that completes today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing my unfiltered opinions on these new fragrance launches. If you made it to the end, hopefully you aren't offended. We can still be friends. It's just fragrance after all. It's not that serious, but I am curious to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there anything in your Sephora shopping cart? Are you shopping for fragrances, and which ones? I want to know if there's anything that I missed that I need to be on the lookout for. Drop me a comment. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be tagged directly to the video and linked in the description box for your convenience only. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.